Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm the founder of Terra Floral Design Studio, a full-service floral design studio specializing in garden-style arrangements for home, events, and weddings. We also conduct floral design courses, and we are proud to be an approved training organization under SkillsFuture Singapore. I've been doing floral design courses for over 7 years, and today I will show you how to create a wrapped bouquet using the spiral technique. Wrapped bouquets are one of the best-selling items in our florist as they are presentable and also suitable for all occasions. Our wrapped bouquets are created with nature in mind, yet wrapped elegantly. This contrast of happy blooms in garden style presented with neutral packaging often surprises our recipients. We shy away from the usual high-contrast, colorful wrapping which are commonly found in the market. Today we are going for a modern garden style design in a mixed pastels color scheme, using blooms in hues of light blues and quicksand, complemented by soft pinks and blush. Flowers are often grouped according to their forms or shapes, and in our arrangements we love variety and could use up to 15 types of flowers in a design. For our hero flowers, we'll be using these gorgeous scented peonies, quicksand roses, and blush garden spray roses. Hero flowers are mostly round flowers as they have the highest visual weight and draw attention to the bouquet. Other flowers we love to death are eustomas and alströmerias. They are available all year round and make really good catalog items. We will also be using these light blue delphiniums from Kenya, one of our favorites as they're so good at creating interesting lines for our designs. Also heavily used in our designs are accent flowers or point flowers. They have unique shapes, colors, and offer a lot of visual interest. While they are typically a little bit more pricey than filler flowers, they pack a huge visual punch. For this bouquet, we will be using oxypetalum and white astrantias. We will also be using foliage like spiral and eucalyptus to create a lush base and interesting outlines for the bouquet. The most important tip for making a bouquet is to ensure all your stems are well conditioned before you start. I almost strip all of the leaves of the flowers as they can look out of place or will wilt fast when arranged in a bouquet. We use a rose stripper for our roses, or just remove the leaves of other flowers gently by hand. Almost all of our bouquets are made using the spiral technique. It is one of the most efficient and effective way of making a bouquet. We like to start with bigger filler flowers and leaves to create a skeleton for our bouquet. Remember to keep the stems long if you are creating a large bouquet, and always choose the size of the flowers and leaves according to the size of the arrangement. If you're right-handed like me, hold the flowers with your left hand and add new stems with your strong hand by adding them this way. Flower on the left and stem pointing towards the bottom right. Only add your flowers this way so the stems are stacked nicely and the binding point is kept small. I'll keep going and start adding the focal blooms once I have a large base of filler flowers and foliage. This will allow the focal blooms to stand out. The flowers are also added on different planes so the arrangement is layered and does not look too flat. The stems are stacked nicely against one another in the same direction. There is great stability and the bouquet is structurally sound with no worries of fragile stems being squashed or broken by thicker stems. One of the misconceptions many have is that spiral bouquets are mainly round, but no! In actual fact, spiraling a bouquet can allow us to easily pull the stems up or down to create lots of interesting lines and depths in the bouquet. Now that the bouquet is almost completed, I'll start pulling certain stems out and add our line flowers and accent flowers to add more textures and interest. The flowers in our bouquets are never lumped together. Every flower is seen and shines in its own space, and the airiness and presence of negative space gives the eyes a place to rest, increasing the appeal of the design. We will finish the bouquet by securing with twine at the binding point and cutting the stems in a proportion of 1:1. We will be using two different types of paper for this bouquet. The first, a non-woven tissue paper in a nude color, and then layered with a white glassine waterproof paper. Size the first two pieces of paper to the entire dimensions of the bouquet. After that, cut 3 to 4 pieces of paper in smaller sizes. Usually I cut them into near halves of the first two pieces, and this way of having access to smaller randomly sized papers will ensure my bouquet is not overly covered by paper. Our signature wrapping style merely frames and elevates the bouquet, not overshadow or create bulk to it. Do a small fold and widen the angle to create a design at the top. I'll position the bouquet such that the folds of the paper add to the overall design harmoniously. Bring both pieces of the paper towards the binding point and tighten with small pinches. Repeat with the second piece of paper, this time framing the right side of the bouquet by positioning it lower. Do not strangle the bouquet. The more delicate the pinching action, the prettier the folds. The papers should be added not in symmetry, but in a zigzag. Create interesting folds with your paper and make sure you are not seeing more paper than flowers. Once the design is quite protected and the design looks good, we can move on to the glassine waterproof papers. This paper will add more structure to the bouquet so it does not look flimsy and unfinished. We want to see less of this, just snippets of it at the empty spaces between the non-woven papers. We will again need to do a little fold at the bottom so the paper does not cover the entire bouquet and make it look flat. Repeat the same steps as with the first paper type, taking hard to create small pinches and holding on to the bouquet at the same binding point every time you add a new piece of paper. Once you are happy with the wrapping, we will secure the bouquet with our branded ribbons and add a tag with care instructions. We are now ready to write our heartfelt messages on the card, and the bouquet is all done.